what's up? Um, so two things that I told y'all concerning this page. What's happening? So two things I told y'all concerning this page, this pod, whatever you want to call it. That number one, um, it's in the description. It's not gonna just be about and for um sports, basketball, music. It's gonna be for everything. And it's weird when when I got when I decided back in February when I got out the hospital after being in the hospital for 3 weeks in January, getting out on my birthday. Um, doing great. How are you? Um, and I was in church that Sunday and heard Spirit speak about something. Not even 100% sure what it was. Um, Give me 1 second. Let me get this shared over to the book while I'm live. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm back. But yeah, I remember. I remember. You know, I mean, I don't remember it because it's it's always been my plan. One of the reasons why it's taken so long for me to get this thing going and off the ground. I'm not even sure if Jody said it first is what I want to continue with in the future. Um, it was just something that came to me back in 23. Like I said, this year I just turned 39. So 23, I turned 36. And I think that that was around the time that I kind of got into this stage in my life where it's like I want my credit. Um, for so long, I never cared about credit. You know, I'm there for people, giving advice, lending a helping hand, um, doing whatever I can, leading and teaching, helping youth, not only in the community, in church, in the juvenile, um, being the best friend I could be, even though, dating back to like 2019, 2018, 2019, you know, um, in my early 30s, I started losing some of those friends. Um, just realizing that my expectation for you as my brother is to hold me accountable when I'm fucking up, when I'm doing something wrong, when I'm, you know, in the wrong. Call me out on it. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to have those talks. If your friendship, male or female, if whenever you kick it with somebody, it's solely based around getting high, drinking, turning up, and gossiping about people, that shit is fake. It's superficial. It's shallow, and it's not a long lasting thing. Um, it's not real. I'm not saying you can't have a drink with your people or partake in whatever it is that y'all enjoy partaking in, but have uplifting, positive conversations. You know, hold one another accountable for the bullshit that you do, not what you want to blame on others. Um, not how other people have done this to you and done that to you, and they're wrong, they ain't shit, and all of that. Like, you know, if these are really your people, then they should really know you, and they should know the role that you played in whatever the story is, no matter who it is that you're trying to paint the picture of being your villain, right? Because more times than not, we're our own villain. We're our own worst enemy. Um, we are the ones who handicap ourselves, who hold ourselves back, and who get in our own way more so than other people. So it's good to have people in your life who will call you out on it and check you on it. And what I realized in my early 30s is, friendships, brotherhoods that I had from anywhere from 5 to 15, 20 plus years. Not all of them had the same expectation, meaning not all of them were okay with me calling them out on their bullshit, even though I wanted them to call me out on mine. Now it's neither here nor there. It's not my fault if your bullshit is greater or if you indulge in the bullshit more so than I do. But there's definitely gonna be times where I'm gonna be more full of shit, right? Don't let me sink. Don't let me fall. Don't let me drown. Uplift me. Correct me. Call me out. Hold me accountable. That's what I feel true friends are. Um, and that's one thing that's good about being a man, a real man, is because I think men, we have more real friendships, more real relationships with ourselves in the sense of actually really calling ourselves out. I think that that's a rarity with women. Um, not saying that they don't have any, um, because I know that some of you do, but the question is, do you listen to your sister? Um, do you are you okay with being called out on your shit? Are you okay with the ugly truths about you being put in your face where you have to deal with it and you can't just put it on someone else? Not all people can handle that, but I think one advantage that we have as men is that while um, not all of us can deal with that, we're blessed to have brothers that will hold us accountable because they want to see us be better and do better. And unfortunately, I lost some guys that I really truly loved, and I still love to this day. Some of them, not all of them, but most of them, I still love to this day. We had great times, you know, um, great memories, um, milestones reached together, things that you can't think about without thinking about that person. So it hurts when that person ain't there no more. Um, but back in those days, I didn't care about credit. I just cared about being the friend, the brother that would always speak the truth, no matter how you took it, how you received it, how you felt about it. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear over what you want to hear. And I expect the same thing for you. That's my expectation. I don't need yes men around me, right? Um, so fast forward to when I started this pod finally after people have been telling me Like what y'all don't realize, what a lot of people, because Facebook, I just got on Facebook at the end of 2010 and really started being active around 2011, right? So the Facebook people are the people on Facebook who would tell me since like 2011, 2012, like, bro, you need to get a podcast, you need a vlog, all this shit, right? They have no clue and no idea that that shit that had been in my mental since 2007. Like '06, '07 is how far I remember it going back. '06 even. Working at Long John Silver's, my bro, um, my brother Curtis. Me and him would be back there arguing over sports and music all day, every day. Friendly stuff, just going back and forth. And back then the word podcast, I don't think it existed. I graduated in 2005, so I graduated high school and went into college around the birth of YouTube and shit, right? So I can recall back then, blogs. And I didn't even know if the word vlog was a real thing or if I felt like I created it. I don't know. But I just was like, this needs to not just be something that's written, because I don't like to write, but also not something that people can just hear, but people need to see our faces. People need to see us have these arguments, these debates, right? A vlog, a video blog. I don't remember when Cold Pizza started on ESPN. Cold Pizza is the origin story of First Take. Stephen A. Smith runs shit at ESPN right now, but he'll tell you he wouldn't be in the position he was in or he's in if it wasn't for Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless ran First Take at first, and Skip Bayless brought Stephen A. Smith on. But before it was First Take, it was Cold Pizza. It was Skip Bayless and Woody Page, and they created it with man, I can't think of his name as the moderator, but it was Cold Pizza. And I can remember Cold Pizza like I want to say like '08, '09, 2010. So I don't know when it really began, but I know sometime around then, possibly could have been '07, right? But I know that I felt like what we were doing in '06, '07 was something that could be revolutionary. And who would have thought just less than 10 years later, like it would be something that would be so popular. And, 10 years later, it's something that gives everyone with a phone or a camera right there in their own home a voice. And the funny thing about this podcasting and vlogging and all of this stuff is I don't care about going viral. I never have and I never will. From Well, viral wasn't even a word with MySpace. But like I said, I've been on Facebook since 2010. I started my Twitter in '09. I've never cared about going viral. If I say something, if I have a hot take and it does, that's cool. That's great. But chasing um internet love and internet acceptance, that's a drug that I don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? I was raised off Master P. Get your money, fuck the fame. And that's literally something I've lived by since I was 10 years old and I first heard it. Like literally going on 30 years now. I'll be 40 in like 7 months. And that's literally something I've lived off of. Get your money, fuck the fame. Um, so that's one of the things that made even starting the podcast difficult for me because with me it's always like I gotta work. I gotta work. I gotta grind. I gotta take care of my family, right? I had my first child at 21. My wife became my girl when I was 26. Um, I proposed at 29. Um, we got married when I was 31. Rewind. We had our first child when I was 28, right? Um, then another child when I'm like 32, and then our final child when I'm 34. Um, so it's like I got a family to feed. I got four children. I got a wife. I got a mom. Right. So it was always like, if it's not beneficial for me, if I don't see money coming in, I don't got time for it. I hear what all y'all saying for the last 15 years, but I don't got time for that shit, bro. I gotta get paid. 10, 15 years, right? So 2023, I just decided like I want my credit for things. I give away a lot of free game. I help a lot of people who I can't find when I'm in need. And it's like, I want my credit. I don't think it's wrong to want your credit. So that's where the term Jody said it first came from. And it actually started with some of my OGs, not just my peers and my young boys, but my OGs is what really made me take notice when they would be like, bro, I don't even gotta watch ESPN because you tell me what's going on before they do. This is dating back to 2010, 2011, 2012, right? So I first noticed that and I'm like, okay. Y'all remember when Facebook it was real popular to be like, first comment, I'm the first one, I'm the first one here, I'm the first one said it. So it's like that's where um I think the Jody said it first thing was the seed was planted, I believe, right? But again, back then I'm 25 in 2012, so we're talking early to mid 20s, right? Um, but it wasn't until my mid going into late 30s, a decade plus later, when I was finally like, yo, I want my credit. I deserve my credit. Even still, though, I don't care about going viral, and that's a problem. I'm still hindering myself because when when I started this page, and me and Chad started making those videos at his crib the summer of 2023, and I brought my son in to debate with me here and there. Because of many circumstances, most my own, even though the greater ones probably not me. The greater ones, Chad will probably agree, were out of my control, but I still say most were because of me. Um, we stopped and it didn't get picked back up. And I've had this access to go live literally since, for 3 years now, for at least 2.5 years, right? Um, I'm laying there in the hospital. I'm thinking about all the things I'd said at the end of the year, going into 26, ending off 25. How I basically was like, I don't care about my circumstances, and I'm not gonna tell y'all my whole story yet. One day I know I will, but I feel like we gotta get more personable first. We gotta understand each other. We gotta develop more of a relationship first. People on Facebook, they know it. They know my story because I'm a very open and honest person. I'm an open book, and I always have been, and I don't have no problem being that way. Some people have a problem with it. Okay, know, not feel, but I know that I've grown over the last decade, over the last 5 years, over the last 3 years, with not oversharing as much, but still oversharing somewhat, just because it's what I do, because I'm so open, right? That's Chad texting me back right now. I text him before I started. Maybe, hopefully, he'll see this before he calls, because I know he'll probably call me in a second. If he calls, I'll just text him, let him know. Hold up. But I definitely don't overshare the way I used to, but I still feel I share too much because I'm big on reciprocation, right? And that's something this year that I've tried to get away from because it's something that I've even told my pastor that I feel is going to send me to hell. I feel like out of all the things I've done and I do that could be considered wrong, could be considered sin, I feel like one of the greatest things that could send me to hell is my will, my need to reciprocate. But here's the thing, I don't feel like reciprocation is always a bad thing because I'm not a reciprocator only of the negative. I reciprocate everything. Therefore, I give back 10 times as much love as what's given to me, right? So that's not fair to me because in every situation, I'm loving harder, I'm loving stronger, I'm loving more than the love that's shown to me. Even when I'm not giving and showing the love to the degree that I want to, it's still more than what I'm receiving because the only way I know how to love is to give back tenfold. I don't hate, but disrespect, like I can take it to hell, right? I can take it to hell. So I really try to avoid those that disrespect me. Sometimes it can be difficult, depending on who the person is that you feel disrespected by. Um, Respect, I give back 10 times fold. So I feel like I always give more than I receive, and it makes it uneven and unbalanced. But it's the bad part that could put me in hell, right? So this year I've tried to not reciprocate as much because I've prayed for things going into 2026, going into 2025, going into 2024, going into 2023. I know those years for sure. I don't remember 22, 21, 20, 19, and 18, but I also remember something I prayed for specifically going into 2017. Or it might have been end of 17 going into 18. I don't know. But I know that I prayed for things that I didn't follow through on because I felt like it was too one sided. I felt like I was giving more than I was receiving, and it wasn't fair. So, fast forward back to me wanting my credit and my prayer ending 25 going into 26. It's been hard. I get on here because it's really an outlet. It's very much so an outlet that I can enjoy a basketball game. I remember in high school telling females when they would ask me, like, you love basketball more than you love me. And I'm like, duh. Like, duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you quiz 100 girls that I've dealt with, well, not 100. If you quiz 10 girls that I've dealt with, 100 is a crazy number. um, it might be split 5-5, 6-4. That Jody was the biggest asshole. Jody was the biggest sweetheart, right? Because I always gave what a person deserved in my eyes. You know how, supposedly we're supposed to um dang, it's 12. I might have fucked up my streak of 30 plus days. Man, I hope I got a back to back grace day. Damn. Damn, I just thought about something. My devotional and my Bible study. Dang. I was supposed to hit 50. And I know I forgot on Tuesday, and then today was like crazy. And I didn't get it in. I hope they give me a back to back grace day. Y'all pray for me. Damn. Man, I was doing good. Okay, but what was I saying? Um, oh yeah, you know how they say like in the Bible, are you supposed to treat others how you want to be treated and always be kind? So I never lived by that. I never lived by that. It was always I'm gonna treat you how you deserve to be treated. I remember being 13 in church. 13. 13, 1 3. I remember being 13 in church. I gave us a name in our Sunday school class. Our name, my age group, the young teens or whatever, the preteens. I might have been 12 when I gave the name. I don't remember. But I remember giving us the name Soldiers for Christ. Um, my boy Valley, what's up, baby? Hey man, that's dope. That's crazy. That's dope that you catching this one because this is like different. I've done like 99% basketball stuff, but it's men's mental health month, so I promised that I would try to do something at least once a week. So that's dope, man. I appreciate you, my boy. That's a little bro right there, man. One of the talented young fellas in the code, man. That's my boy. Um, but yeah, I remember being 13, and I gave us our age group in Sunday school the title of Soldiers for Christ. Corey can confirm that. I don't know if EJ was in there with us because EJ was a couple years younger, but if he was, he can confirm that. It's some girls that was in there that probably I'm not in communication with anymore, but they could confirm it. KK might have been in there. That was me. And I remember one of our lessons, we had to go stand up in front of the church before service after Sunday school, and we had to speak on what we were talking about. And I don't really remember what the lesson was, but I remember what I contributed. It's always stayed with me. I've told this story a million times. At 13 years old, I knew. I stood up in front of the church and said this. It's hard for me to respect a female who doesn't respect herself. Whether that is how you appear, how you dress, how you carry yourself, how you act, how you speak, whatever the case might be, what you decide to do with yourself. It's hard for me to say, I will treat you like a queen when you don't act like one. So, for every female that ever came into encounter with me before who knew me to be a gentleman and a sweetheart and the sweetest, it's because that's how they carried themselves. And the ones who knew me to be an asshole is because of how they carried themselves. Because since I was 13, I knew how I would treat them, right? And as I got older, that just became how I would treat anyone, how they deserve based off of their actions, not based off of biblical terms or how what's right, right? But what I see, right? That's just how I was programmed. And like I said, it's been hard. It's crazy that we're in June. We're in June, so it's almost been a year. Damn. July 2025, my world was flipped upside down. Um, an identity was stripped of me, and then the end of August of 2025, I dealt with something I never even dreamed of dealing with in my life, and then it got worse in September of 2025. And since September of 2025, while my vision hasn't been the best up until about roughly 2 months now. Got my contact. I'm good. Hard cap. Never wore contacts in my life, ever. My little brother EJ, he always tells people my eyes is fake. Ain't no contact in this eye. You can see. In this one, you can see that there is. But it's difficult to see because it's a hard cap contact. I never knew the difference between a hard cap and a soft cap because I never wore contacts. I had 20/20 vision for like 25 years. Then all of a sudden, I was blind in my right eye. Didn't even know it. State of Texas didn't care. They gave me a driver's license. Just found out from my contact guy. As long as you got 20/40, you can get a driver's license in Texas. It's crazy. Um, it's been hard, man. Like I said, being able to watch those games, football, basketball, it takes me away from reality for like 3 hours. And I'm hoping that it's more than one game so I can get, 5 to 6 hours. Right? If it's a triple header, I can get more. Sometimes you ask God, like, why do I only know pain? Why do I only know pain? I can't remember the last time I rest. It had to be 2010. Um, at times it seems like happiness has been voided, but I'm familiar with pain. And I know that I'm not alone. That's why, like, when people ask me, I hate the question, "How are you doing?" I've hated it for some time now. I can't even put a number on it, but I've hated it for some time now, and it's strictly because I don't know how to answer that shit. Because nobody really wants to fucking hear how you doing, especially as a man. Nobody really wants to hear how you doing. It sounds good to ask, you know. It's a conversation starter. It's a greeting, right? So it sounds good to ask, but excuse me, the percent of people who actually really truly give a fuck, who actually truly aren't sitting there thinking, here we go again. Why the fuck I asked this nigga this shit? Okay, this is not what I was asking for. Yes, the fuck you did. You said, "How am I doing?" It's just like on Facebook, people try to police what people post. The motherfucker says, "What's on your mind, bro?" You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. Um, I hate that question. I've grown to accept it over the past year or so. Really more than a year. I've grown to accept it because I know that some people actually do mean well. However, I still can't just pour it out on you like that, right? I can't. Um, cause shit can get heavy. Shit's been heavy. But I love that I can get on. I used to always say I could never be fake, but it's like the closer I get to 40, the more fake I realize I am. But it's fake in the sense that every man is fake. Different ways, but it's the same thing. We all put on the mask. We all put on the mask, right? Um, for different reasons, for different men, but we all put on the mask, and it's because we have to. And I'm not gonna say women don't because they sometimes do. Um, I think it's more so of a choice, and I could be wrong. That could create a debate, but I think it's more so a choice for women. Maybe you just are ashamed of something, or maybe you don't really want the world to know the truth, or this and that, so you choose to wear whatever your mask is. But with men, it really truly is. And like I said, I could be off with women. I could be. I don't think I am, but maybe it's a 50-50 thing. But with men, it usually is. It usually is. I don't know why I added a K to that. It usually is a mask that must be worn. I guess it would determine how many different masks the man wears. I think I'm on the lower end. I don't think I wear as many masks as some men may wear, but I definitely wear a mask as well. And I don't even think I realized it until I almost said his name, but I don't know if I should. But one of my brothers told me. One of my married brothers told me that right there, married. A lot of my brothers, a lot of my closest friends, I'm married. They're married. It makes sense. Um, I don't have a lot of close single friends. I shouldn't. I've been in a relationship since 2013. I've been married since 2018. You know, um, but we all have to bear the mask at some point, in some way. And my biggest mask, probably the only one I really think I truly wear, is everything's okay. I'm fine. My favorite term, my favorite way to answer how are you doing, and it's really just second nature by now. I can't complain. I can't complain. And that's the truth. I don't like to even say that it's a mask because that is the God's honest truth. I can't complain. Because as hard as the last 10 months have been, or 11 months have been, or 3 years have been, 3.5 years have been. As hard as shit has been for Jody, Jody personally knows people that have had it way fucking worse in that time. So how fucking dare Jody complains about shit? You got me fucked up if I'm gonna complain about shit. Am I gonna cry about it? Yes, I'm gonna cry. To myself, to my brother. And I say brother, even though there's brothers I know I can cry to and with. And I don't want to exclude anyone because there literally is at least a handful of brothers that I have that are real, that know, that understand, that are there, that I can talk to, that can talk to me, whatever. But it's one. Bro, I love Josh to death, bro. I love my bro to death, bro, because everybody, I get told how great of a person I am, how great of a friend I am, this, that, third, whatever. Fuck me. Every fucking body. I pray every man walking this planet has somebody in their life like I have in Josh. I really fucking do. And like I said, I don't mean to diminish or take away from what Delvin means to me, my big cousin, who's like a brother to me. Corey, EJ, my little brother, Chad, Raphael. I can't take away Raphael. More than a brother. It's like he's been a mentor. It ain't like he's been a mentor. Not taking away what none of my brothers have been to me. But like I said, it's levels. It really is. It's levels. And I make it no secret, no joke. Terrence and Terrence, Phillips and Jones, they've been there the longest. Corey been there hella long. EJ too. But when it comes to strong, the strength, I'm blessed to have Josh in my life. My family is blessed to have Josh in their life. Whether that's Uncle Josh, my brother Josh, bro, um, or my son Josh. Like my family is blessed. I'm better for knowing Josh. I love that I have the outlet to just be able to, bro. If I didn't have a way to just take my mind off of shit, it's crazy that I'm even pushing this man mental health matters because I don't even really believe it. And what I mean by I don't believe it is I don't believe that it matters as much as it should. I don't believe that it matters to everyone that it should matter to. I'll just leave it at that. Mental health for men does not matter. the way it should. There's a reason they created this shit. Because all of these fucking holidays are created. They're all fake. Pride Month, all this shit, right? But they do it because it needs to be done, because the awareness needs to be there, because it gets neglected. Today is June, now technically 12th. Father's Day is in a week and a half. Today is technically Friday. So really you can say Father's Day is in a week. How many Father's Day ads have you seen? How many Father's Day commercials have you seen? How many Father's Day sales do you know of? We're a week away from Father's Day. I've seen one. One. I won't even get into the other side. I'll just leave it at that. And like I said, I would like for you to answer my question in the comments, please. And if you comment while I'm live, please copy and paste so you can re-comment after I post, because I still haven't understood how to keep these comments up. The live comments, the live chat, or whatever. Um, but men's mental health definitely needs to matter more. It has to matter more. It deserves to matter more. It needs to matter more. Having that brother, I push. I got a Facebook group. Holla at me. Jody Lagway, JodyLagway. The group is called MVP, Men Venting Properly. It started strictly for black husbands. Then I had to open it up for all husbands of black wives. Then I had to open it up for black men who even aspire to be husbands. Then I had to open it up for just all husbands. And I will say that I stopped at all husbands and men who aspire to be husbands. I haven't just opened it up to just all people, all men, but all men who are husbands and aspire to be husbands. And no, ladies, we don't be in there talking down or talking shit about y'all. No, it's to uplift, it's to encourage, it's to hold one another accountable, it's to make each other better, so we can ultimately be better for you, because everything that a man does ultimately is for the woman in his life, the woman of his life, his bride. We get up every day to work for you, to provide for you, to protect you. We do things for you. The decisions we make on a daily basis, we have to incorporate and have concern for you. The decisions that we make, maybe I just said that, I don't know. But everything we do is for you. And my group is mainly because I know and recognize and understand that y'all don't always have the answer. And we have to accept and understand that. We have to understand and accept that sometimes we have to be the answer for each other. Not every man is fortunate enough to have a lifelong imaginary friend like me. I'm 39, and my imaginary friend been with me for as long as I can remember, and I can remember vaguely since I was 3, and I can remember vividly since I was 5. I'm an only child by my mama. I got brothers and sisters by my father, but I'm an only child by my mama. I grew up alone, just me and my imaginary friend. And Still at 39, not only do I still talk to myself, but I still have the best fucking conversations with myself. I do. With myself, I have the best conversations. Because if ain't nobody else gonna hold Jody accountable, goddamn it, Jody gotta hold Jody accountable. It's been hard. Man, like I said, we can't move without thinking of the family first. That job, it has to be the right job so I can provide for my family. I gotta put food in my kids' stomach every night. I gotta make sure these bills are paid every month. I gotta make sure what needs to be done with the car around the house is done every time it needs to. These are the things a man thinks of all the time. And when something happens and you can't provide, you can't protect, and you're helpless to just being able to just sit there and see the struggle. And it's minimal, if anything, that you can do about it. That shit is not easy for a man. You see, when a woman is in need, she can always have someone to call on and depend on and count on. Whether that's the man in her life, boyfriend, husband, side nigga, ex, whatever the fuck she wants to call, nigga she's fucking, father, uncle, brother, cousin, friend, coworker, work husband. There's numerous of people that woman can call upon. A man gotta figure it out. He can't call on them people. If he fucking a female on the side, that's not your relationship. If it's his wife, his girl, what's your role as the man? If it's his sister, but you're my brother. Auntie? Granny? Your mama? We ain't gonna get into a man calling on his dad. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit. It's not the same amount of resources. I'm not gonna say the man can't call on any of these people, but it's not as widespread. It's not as easy. Because then the woman also has the females in her life that she can, call upon as well. The man will have limited people, literally, arguably, possibly, no woman in his life, and very, very, very few men. Because you're a man, you gotta figure that shit out, bro. You gotta come up with something. You got to figure it out. And I understood that before I was a man, and I accepted. Men's mental health matters. Men's mental health matters because it's hard for that man. And ladies, I know that everything I say, y'all can reverse and say, us too. How you think we feel? Me too. It goes both ways. I get that shit with a lot of this shit. With some of this shit, please shut the fuck up and understand where that man is coming from. Because the same way that as a man, we can't deal with some of the shit y'all deal with on a monthly basis, the shit y'all deal with in burying and birthing a child, damn it, there are some things as a woman you cannot fucking deal with that a man has to. It's just the truth. It's the fucking truth. A man has to think with logic in all decisions made. You can't be emotional about the shit. I'm not saying a man can't have emotion because a man is still a human. And I'm still learning how to be a better man. I love and appreciate Jason Wilson. I do, because he's teaching me a lot at 39 about how to be a comprehensive man. You gotta have emotion. You can't always be the lion. You gotta be the lamb at times. I told my cousin, bro, we are nurturers, bro. You know what I'm saying? We would tell them kids in practice that we coach that, you want to be nurtured, go home to your mama. Bro, we are nurturers, bro. It might be a different way, but we have to nurture too. I got three boys and a girl, three sons and a daughter. 17, 11, my daughter is 7, and my baby boy is 5. Guess who's named after me? My princess, my baby girl. I'm JLDY, she's JLDI. I hug my kids, all 4 of them, because I'm blessed that my 17-year-old finally was ready to come home. I hug my kids every single day. I kiss my babies from the 5-year-old up to the 17-year-old every single day. Those are my children. Those are my babies. You goddamn right, I hug and kiss my kids and tell them I love them multiple times a day. Tell my daughter how beautiful and pretty she is, how smart all of them are. I get on them oldest 2 asses because they 17 and 11. I gotta get on their ass. They boys. I got to. But I still comfort. I still wrap my arms around. I still make sure that they understand and know. Because my sons know daddy's number one rule. What's daddy's number one rule? Be better than you. My sons know daddy's number one rule. Be better than you. And that's in every single way. They gotta be better than me. My daughter has to be attracted to better than me. I kill a nigga that's trying to date my daughter that's like me, that I see me in. You got me fucked up, nigga. I don't want my sons to have to suffer through what I've suffered through, relationship wise, being a man, career wise, emotional, none of that shit. Be better than me. Finance, be better than me. I want when you 30 for us to be chilling on your patio, on your porch, on your couch. I got a drink in my hand. Maybe we got a cigar or something. We laughing about shit. We enjoying shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing my grandkids play in a better environment that I raised y'all in. And one day y'all tell me, Pops, I get it. Pops, I understand. Pops, I'm sorry. You were right, Dad. See, my oldest, he when he hit 16, he got too cool. He started calling me Pops at like 15, 16. My 11-year-old and my babies, they still call me Daddy. Damn it, they can all call me Daddy so they 50. I don't get that. I'm not my babies. I didn't have a daddy or a pops. I didn't have no father. He was in and out. When he was around, he was cool, but I still was. It was hard to respect him as my dad. He'll tell you to this day in the penitentiary. You go talk to him. He'll tell you to this day, I'm Jody's father. That nigga Master P is his daddy. Because I told him when I was like 15, 16, nigga P taught me everything I needed to know to be a man. The shit that you didn't teach me. Like Kendrick said, I'm a grown man with daddy issues. I didn't want to go over an hour. I'm approaching an hour five. We're gonna break it up. It's the 12th, technically. I'm gonna try to give y'all at least two or three more of these. But like I said, it's crazy because like I said, like when I started this section, this era of the pod in February, I wanted to do more of this. I didn't want to do as much of the sports shit as I've been doing. But that's just what's been going on. So that's what I've been on. I ain't even touched football. I ain't talked about AJ leaving the Eagles. I ain't talking about none of that shit yet. But this is the shit that matters most to me. Men's mental health, fatherhood, manhood. Just having real conversations with real brothers. That's what it's about. I'm gonna pause right here. I'll be back. I don't know. It might be tomorrow. It might not be till next week. It might not be for a couple weeks, but I'll be back about this. Same hashtag. So you'll know. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Before I go, I'm gonna pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord Jesus. God, thank you for all that you are, Lord, and all that you do. Thank you for your mercy, God. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for forgiving, Lord. Thank you for keeping us safe, Lord. Thank you for guiding us. Thank you for showing us the way. Thank you for your forgiveness. Jesus, thank you. Lord, I ask that you bless those that truly, truly, truly love me and my family. Lord, I ask that you bless those that have been there and that have helped me and my family. Couldn't have made it without them, God. Almost in the way that I couldn't have made it without you. Continue to speak to me, Lord. I'm listening. Protect my wife's thoughts. Soften her heart. Guide her mind. Let us grow closer. Let us use the tools that we've received through you to get closer to you and be closer to one another. Protect my babies. Javion, Jason, Jody, and Jacoby. Keep them safe, Lord, especially when I'm not around. Let them understand my lessons. Keep them protected from all evil and all illness. Thank you, Lord, for my life. All the struggle, all the strife, all the pain. Thank you for the lessons. And thank you for all of your blessings. Forgive me, Lord, for the times that I didn't listen, for the times that I thought that because my heart is pure and you know it, I was doing it the right way. But you showed me over the past few months that no, the right way is to listen to me and do it my way. It ain't your way, no matter how good you think it is, no matter how well your intentions are. You got to do it my way. Keep talking to me, God. I'm listening, Lord. I'm listening. Forgive me for the times I failed, the times I came up short, for the times I didn't listen. Give me strength, God. Give me wisdom and give me patience. Wisdom to know what to do, to hear your voice and to follow. The strength to push through every situation, no matter how difficult it is. The patience to understand that sometimes I gotta let go, give it to you, and just let it be, and trust in your will and trust in your way. The patience for when I don't understand why I'm getting what I'm getting from someone when I'm trying so hard. I try and I try so much where I'm tired. Give me the strength and the patience to push through, to push on, to push through. Thank you, Jesus. Bless my brothers. Bless their marriages. My cousin, his marriage. My brothers who desire to be married. Bless them. Help them make the right decisions. Bless marriages, God, because I know that they're under attack. Satan, you ain't got no fucking place around me and mine, brother. No, sir. You ain't welcome here. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much for every opportunity and every new day, and for always making and providing a way. In Jesus' name, Jesus' mighty name, I pray. Amen. Amen. I love you, EJ, bro.